Okay, what we're going to look at now is when we actually shift the demand and the supply curve. Here we have the examples of a decrease in demand, moving from this original demand curve D1 to this new demand curve D2. And so at our original equilibrium, this is the price and this is the quantity. But once we shift that and demand comes down for whatever reason, less people want it. So typically what happens then obviously is that the price is going to fall and the quantity that people want is going to fall. If they did not change the price, they would create themselves a surplus because the old price is above equilibrium. So it will eventually move its way down till the price reaches the new equilibrium. And this is an increase in supply where we have the curve shifting to the right. This is our original equilibrium point. Once again, if we don't change the price, this would be our quantity supplied, but now this is our new quantity demanded over here. And so at that price, we would create a shortage, and so the price would eventually work its way up to the new equilibrium point, and the market would be cleared. This is showing changes in supply. So we have our original supply curve, we have our original demand curve, supply has decreased, shift back to the left, and so we have a situation here where if we don't change the price, we will create a shortage. And to eliminate that shortage, the price has to go up, and eventually the price will move itself up here, and the quantity will actually go down. Over here, we have a situation where here's our original supply, here's our original demand. You're going to increase supply. If we don't change the price, once again, we are above equilibrium, so we have a surplus. So the price will eventually move its way down till it reaches the new equilibrium, where here is our new price and our new quantity. Price floors and price ceilings. A price floor is a minimum price established by the government. This is a law. You cannot violate this. And so minimum wage is an example. The government says that the minimum wage can go no lower than $7.25, and obviously there are a few exceptions to that. But when we look at a price floor, it is above equilibrium, and it has to be above equilibrium to be an effective price floor, otherwise there's no need for it. It does cause surpluses, and we cannot eliminate these surpluses because it is the law. Price ceiling, on the other hand, is a maximum price established by the government, and once again, it is a law. Rent control housing is an example of price ceilings. The government sets aside housing for people with low incomes and tells the people who own these homes or these apartments that you cannot charge any more than this set price. It is below equilibrium, has to be there in order for it to be an effective price ceiling, and it causes shortages that cannot be eliminated. So when we look at what that looks like, here is a graph of a supply curve and a demand curve. If the government were to stay out of it, I said earlier, if we let the market work by itself, eventually the price would work itself to this point. But what the government says is, we're going to set a price floor, and if you notice where the floor is, once again, it's above, which tends to be a little confusing, but what you have to understand is this is the lowest price. It can't go any lower than this. Where the price wants to be is here. But what's stopping it is this floor. It can't go any lower. And so a lot of people would like to see the minimum wage go up, but what we have with the minimum wage is at this price, this is how much business or how many employees businesses want. This is how much the quantity supplied will be of workers. So at this price, there are more workers who are willing to work than businesses who want that work. And so what happens is a lot of people say, let's raise that. And what you really do by raising the minimum wage, if we raise it up here, you create an even larger surplus because now people who wouldn't work at this price will now work at these prices. So the very people that a minimum wage is intended to help is actually the people that hurt because now you have more experienced people entering markets, you have more skilled people entering this market, and so you have more competition. So young people, people with few skills are the ones who tend to get these jobs. As that minimum wage goes up, you will have more and more competition. Plus, what you're going to see is either businesses laying off, because obviously quantity demanded of employees is going to go down, or to compensate for the higher wages, they're going to have to raise their prices on everything. This is a price ceiling. Once again, here's the minimum wage. If the government stays out of it, it will eventually work its way to this point. But what the government says is because there are people who have low a shortage here of apartments that people are willing to do some underhanded deals to get a hold of.